Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at the unit test for rational functions. This is one of the topics in Precalculus. We're going to be going over all of these questions so that you understand how to approach and solve these questions. Let's get started. Alright, our first question is here. There's a 30% concentration of cobalt chloride in a 90 grams of water and cobalt chloride solution. What mass in grams of water has to evaporate to have a 40% concentration of cobalt chloride? Okay, let's think about what this means. Okay, so 30% of 90 grams, right? What is that? 30% of 90 grams is going to be, 3/10 of that is going to be 27 grams. Right, so I'm going to write 27 grams. I want to know how much water has to evaporate to have a 40% concentration of cobalt chloride. So I'm going to pull out my calculator, and we see that this 27 grams has to be 40%, so we do 27 divided by 0.4, and that gives us 67.5 grams, meaning that 67.5 grams has to be the total concentration left, right, afterwards, have 40% of it be cobalt chloride. So that means that 90 minus the 67.5, or 22.5 grams. 22.5 grams have to evaporate to leave the correct concentration. Let's move on. Alright, now we have answered two questions about the following rational expression. Alright, what is an equivalent expression in lowest terms? Let's see what we can do here. Well, we can factor this expression out to be x minus 3 times x plus 6 over 3, or not 3, over 7 times x minus 3. And that the x minus 3 cancels out, and you're left with x plus 6 over 7, which the values of x must be excluded from the domains of the expressions. Well, this 3x minus 3 is going to give us a denominator of 0, so 3 is our answer. And we can move on. Alright, now we're just told to subtract. That's it. Just subtract. Okay. Well, we have 4 times so 9x times x minus 5 minus 6x times x minus 5 times x plus 5. So we have x plus 5 times 40, which is going to be 20, and 4x plus 20. The minus 6x times 9x is going to give us negative 54x squared. So we're going to end up with a negative 54x squared plus 4x plus 20. Okay, that is going to be the numerator, and the denominator is going to be 9x times x minus 5 times x plus 5. And let's keep going. Consider the following rational function f, and we're asked to determine f's end behavior. Well, we're going to figure this out by looking at the highest degree for the numerator and the denominator. So the highest degree is going to be x to the 5th on both of them, so we just divide out just that part, we get rid of the rest, and we get 2. So either way, either direction we go in, we're going to end up at 2. Doesn't matter which direction of infinity, we end up at hold up. We're going to end up at 2. End up at 2. Let's keep going. Alright, here we have f of x equals q of x over x squared minus 5x minus 24, where q of x is a polynomial. Which of the following is a possible graph of y equals f of x? Well, we see in the denominator, right, that x squared minus 5x minus 24, which we can factor out as x minus 8 times x plus 3, meaning that at x equals 8 and at negative 3, you're going to have some kind of asymptote, like something there, some discontinuity, right, at 8 and negative 3. This here has discontinuity at 6. That doesn't make sense, right? So we can't use that one. This one here has 8 and at -3, right? That might work. This one has another one at 6 and at -4, so no. And this has 2 and -2, so that also doesn't work. So our answer is here, B. And let's move on to the next question. And now we're here to answer 2 questions about the following rational division. What is the quotient in lowest terms? Okay. So this might seem complicated, but we can just make it like this. 4x minus 24 times x plus 5 over -3x minus 15 times x squared minus 36. Alright, now this is going to cancel out with this and leave behind a -3. Now this, we can leave it just a 4, and then you're going to have an x minus 6 that cancels out with this and leaves an x plus 6. So you have 4 over -3 times x plus 6. So 4 over -3 times x plus 6, so -3x minus 18. Or you can just say 3x plus 18, and then put a negative sign here at the beginning. Okay, and that is what we get. Well, values of x must be excluded from the domains of the expression. If we put -5, this denominator right here becomes an issue, so not that. -6 is also an issue. +6, +6 is also an issue, right? If we plug in +6 into here, then we're going to end up with 0 here, and then we have something over 0. And if we just plug in 0, that doesn't really do anything. So this is our answer, and we can keep going. Alright, now we have h of x equals x squared plus 4x minus 32 over x squared minus 8x plus 16. And we have at each of the following values of x, select whether h has a 0, a vertical asymptote, or a removable discontinuity. Okay, if we plug in -8, then the denominator doesn't really do anything. It's fine. The numerator becomes -64 plus the it's +64 minus 32 minus 32, so that's going to be 0. If you plug in 4, then you're going to have 16 plus 16 minus 32, but the denominator is also going to be 0, so that's going to be a removable discontinuity. And we can keep, oops, that did not work. Let's look at why it didn't work. Alright, so if we plug in -8, right, into this, it's going to give us the 64 minus 32 minus 32. That is going to work out. If we plug in 4 in here, we're going to have 16. We're going to have 16 plus 16 minus 32, so that's also a 0. Plug in -8 in the denominator, we have something that's not 0, since this is x minus 4 squared. And then for this, we're going to have x minus 4 squared, so we're going to have to take out an x minus 4, but we still have 1 remaining, so it's going to be a vertical asymptote instead of a removable discontinuity. Let's keep going. Alright, f of x equals -8x to the 7th plus all that stuff over 2x to the 7th over all that, plus all that stuff. We're trying to find a possible graph. Well, let's see. Well, we know that everything is going to converge to -4 when we go to infinity. So this goes to +5, so that doesn't work. That's positive something, no. This is negative something, that's not 4, so that doesn't work. This is -4, so this is going to be our answer. And now we have this question. There are 2 questions about this expression. Well, we can factor out the x minus 8, and we end up with 4 over x plus 8. 4 over x plus 8. So you can't use a -8 or a +8 in here, because that makes this denominator 0, and we can continue on. Alright, so that was this unit test on rational functions, one of the topics of precalculus. I hope you enjoyed this video or found it interesting, or I hope you learned something from it, and I'll see you next time we continue looking at more topics in precalculus. I'll see you then.